This morning, as the soft light begins to stretch across the sky, painting it with hues of gold and warmth, I allow myself to pause. In the stillness of this early hour, I listen not to the noise of the world, but to the quiet voice within. The world outside remains hushed, the streets silent, the air tender with dew. There is no rush here, no pressure, just breath, just presence, just now. I inhale slowly, filling my lungs with the freshness of the new day. I exhale even slower, releasing not just the air, but the lingering weight of yesterday, the worries, the heaviness, the doubts that clung to me as the night fell. With every breath, I feel myself becoming lighter. I am not in a hurry. There is no need to be anywhere else. I am here, and that is enough. In this peaceful moment, I remind myself, the act of waking up is a miracle in itself. Life doesn't owe me another day. Nothing guaranteed I would open my eyes this morning. And yet, here I am, conscious, breathing, alive. That, in itself, is something sacred, something worthy of gratitude. So I begin this day not with urgency, but with reverence. I bow gently, in my heart, to the gift of another sunrise. I don't take this morning for granted. Somewhere out there, someone went to sleep last night expecting to wake up, but didn't. Someone had plans for today that will never come. The fact that I am still part of this unfolding story, still given time, still offered space to breathe, to speak, to choose, that is something I cherish. However imperfect this life may seem, it is still precious. Today is not just another tick on the calendar. It's not just a routine repetition of what came before. It is new. It is unknown. It is full of possibilities, some that I may never see coming. And that excites me. That humbles me. Because no matter what burdens I carried into this morning, I also carry the power to shift something. Even if it's just the way I see it. Even if it's just the way I choose to walk through it. I choose awareness today. I choose to step into this day with open eyes. Not just the ones in my head, but the eyes of my heart. I want to notice things that usually slip by unnoticed, the subtle beauty of light through the trees, the softness of wind against my skin, the quiet patience of the earth beneath my feet. These are not small things. These are life's gentle reminders that I belong here. I begin this day not from a place of fear, but from a space of grounded presence. I don't know what challenges I will face. I don't know what conversations, what opportunities, what disruptions may arrive. But I do know this: the way I begin matters. The intention I hold shapes everything that follows. So I ground myself in stillness. I root myself in peace. I center myself in gratitude, even before I check my phone. Even before I face the world, I choose to say thank you for this breath, for this heartbeat, for this quiet space where I can remember what truly matters. I don't need to have all the answers today. I don't need to fix everything, be everything, or do everything. I only need to be here wholly and gently, to move from presence, to speak with kindness, to walk in awareness. And in doing so, I honor the life I've been given. As the golden light of morning touches my face, I feel the whisper of something greater, quiet assurance that I am held, that I am seen, that I am part of something meaningful. I don't need to name it. I only need to receive it. Today, I begin again, and that is more than enough. I allow the silence of the morning to speak because, in its stillness, it carries truths louder than words. Before the noise of the day begins, before the distractions take hold, there exists a brief and sacred moment where everything becomes clear. No screens, no schedules, no expectations. Just breath, just life, just this now. In this silence, I become aware of how much I usually rush past. The stillness reveals how often I fill every second with movement, with sound, with endless thought. But here, in this rare quiet, I realize that I am allowed to stop. I am allowed to simply be, to just exist without the need to achieve or perform or explain, to just sit in the softness of being alive. This moment is not empty. It is full, overflowing, in fact, with presence, with awareness, with quiet power. And in this awareness, I feel something larger than myself stirring, not outside me, but deep within. A steady presence that asks for nothing and gives everything. I do not need to name it. I do not need to understand it. I only need to allow it. I let go of yesterday, not because it didn't matter, not because it was easy, but because I cannot carry it with me and fully walk into today. Whatever mistakes I made, I release. Whatever I didn't finish, I leave behind. Whatever hurt me, whatever drained me, whatever tried to define me, I now choose to set it down, gently, with forgiveness, with understanding, with love. The past no longer needs to weigh me down. It taught me something, yes. It shaped me, but it does not own me. I am not my yesterdays. I am not my fears. I am not the voices that said I wasn't enough. In this quiet space, I remember I am allowed to begin again, and I also choose, deliberately, not to reach for tomorrow yet. That day will come. Its challenges will arrive on their own time. I don't need to borrow stress from a future that hasn't happened. I don't need to write every answer before the questions even come. I don't need to control the unknown. Right now, there is only this breath, this heartbeat, this sacred pause, and in it, there is more peace than any plan could ever offer me. So I choose now. I choose presence. I choose to listen to what this moment has to say, to what my soul is gently whispering beneath the noise of the world. It tells me that I am held, that I am supported, that I am not walking this path alone, even when I cannot see what's guiding me. I don't need to understand the whole map. I just need to take the next step, even if it's small, even if it's shaky, even if I have to take it with trembling hands and an unsure heart. There is something beautiful about trusting what I cannot yet see, about believing that the light will come, even when the path is still dim. There is a power that moves quietly through all things, through trees, through wind, through breath, through the rising of the sun and the rhythm of the ocean, through the way a child laughs and the way an old soul weeps. This power doesn't always shout. Often, it arrives in whispers. Often, it waits until we are still enough to hear. This morning, I choose to hear it. I do not need grand signs or miraculous moments. Sometimes, the miracle is simply that I paused, that I listened, that I remembered I am not alone in this vast, wild, sacred life. I am being guided, even when it's quiet, even when nothing looks certain, even when I feel lost, especially then. So I place my trust not in perfect plans, but in the quiet strength that stirs inside me, the calm center that is always there, waiting for me to return. And here I am, returning once again, to presence, to now, to peace. Let my thoughts be calm today. Let them move like gentle clouds across a quiet sky, never rushing, never storming, only drifting soft and slow, open to the wind, open to change. So often, my mind races ahead, building stories that haven't happened, fixing things that aren't broken, fearing shadows that have no form. But this morning, I asked for something simpler, a quiet mind, a still center, a space within where I can breathe without worry chasing me. There is peace in silence, and I invite that silence into my thoughts. I choose not to believe every voice in my head. I choose not to follow every trail of fear. I choose to notice the spaces between thoughts, the pauses where nothing is asked of me. Those spaces are sacred. They are where calm begins. Let my heart stay soft, even in a world that feels sharp, even when disappointment knocks, when conflict rises, when others bring their own pain into my space still. Let my heart be tender. I do not want to harden. I do not want to become cold, reactive, bitter. The world does not need more armor. The world needs warmth. It needs people willing to remain kind even when kindness is not returned. It needs people willing to listen, even when they disagree. It needs softness that refuses to become stone. So I protect my heart, not by closing it, but by watering it, by nourishing it with beauty, with music, with nature, with gratitude. By choosing love, even when anger feels easier, I don't have to carry everyone else's pain, but I can hold my own with gentleness. I can sit with myself in compassion, and let that become the place from which I meet others. Let my words today carry peace, not pressure. Let what I say be rooted in presence, not performance. I don't need to impress. I don't need to convince. I only need to be true. My words are seeds, and today, I want to plant seeds that grow into healing, into clarity, into connection. I want to speak slowly, with thought, with care. I want to listen more than I speak. I want to choose silence when silence says more than words ever could. Let my presence bring warmth, not weight. May those who cross my path feel lighter after meeting me. May I be a shelter, not a storm. May I be a safe space, not a source of tension. I don't need to fix people. I don't need to have all the answers. I just need to be present, truly present, offering my time, my ears, my attention. That is more powerful than any advice. That is more healing than any perfect plan. I release the need to control what I cannot. I let go of the illusion that everything must go according to my will. I understand now, control is a burden, not a blessing. It keeps my fists clenched, my shoulders tight, my soul exhausted. And yet most of life is outside my control. The weather, the traffic, the moods of others, the unexpected twists and turns, these are not mine to command. But my response, my breath, my attitude, these are mine. So I choose to loosen my grip. I choose to trust the flow. I choose to ride the waves instead of fighting them. I choose peace, not panic, when things shift. I don't have to like every turn life takes, but I can meet each one with grace. I can bow to the unknown and still rise with strength. There is a rhythm to life that I don't always understand, but I can learn to move with it. I accept the flow of today with grace. I step into the current not as a victim, but as a traveler, open, curious, unattached to outcomes, yet fully engaged. I can hold both effort and surrender in the same hand. I can work with intention and release with trust. That is the balance I seek, not control, not passivity, but harmony with what is. And even when the day grows loud, when tensions rise, when plans fall apart, I will return to this place inside me, the place of stillness, the place of softness, the place where grace lives, not as a concept, but as a way of being. Grace is how I meet myself. Grace is how I walk through the world. Grace is the light I leave behind. Give me strength for whatever I may face today. Not just the strength to move mountains, but the quieter strength to stand tall when nothing seems to change. The strength to stay kind in the face of rudeness. The strength to remain soft in a hard world. The strength to keep going even when I feel like giving up. Because strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's choosing not to react. Sometimes it's choosing to breathe before I speak. Sometimes it's waking up and showing up even when the weight feels too heavy. Strength is choosing peace over pride, grace over anger, love over fear. Let my resilience rise stronger than my fear. Let it be rooted not in perfection, but in persistence. Let it be the quiet voice that says, I will try again after 1,000 failures. Let it be the flame that refuses to go out, even when the wind howls the loudest. I don't need to be fearless, I just need to believe that I can rise again and again, no matter how many times life knocks me down. Resilience is not about being unaffected. It's about being honest with my pain, but not being defined by it. It's about acknowledging the heartbreak, the setbacks, the uncertainty, and still choosing to move forward, still choosing to hope, still choosing to believe in the goodness that exists, even if it's hidden beneath the surface. Let courage replace doubt, not because doubt won't come, but because I don't have to live in it. Doubt may visit, but I don't need to give it a home. I can look it in the eye and still take the next step. Courage doesn't mean I'm not afraid. It means I go on despite the fear. It means I speak up when it's easier to stay quiet. It means I try again when failure whispers I shouldn't. Courage is small but mighty. It's the voice that reminds me of who I am when the world tries to make me forget. It's the strength to be myself in rooms that ask me to shrink. It's the willingness to walk my path, even if no one else understands it. It's staying true to what matters, even when the path is lonely. Let compassion protect me from bitterness. Let it be my armor, not to close myself off, but to shield my heart from turning cold. Life will not always be fair. People will not always be kind. But I don't want to let pain make me cruel. I don't want to let disappointment poison my spirit. I want to feel deeply without becoming jaded. I want to forgive without forgetting my worth. I want to heal without building walls so high that no one can reach me. Compassion is not weakness. It is fierce. It is revolutionary. It says, I will still choose love, even after heartbreak. I will still offer kindness, even after betrayal. I will still believe in the goodness of others, even when I've seen the worst. Compassion is the choice to stay soft, even when the world tries to make me hard. And when I feel weary, when I feel alone, when I forget my strength, I remind myself that I am not walking through this life by myself. I am surrounded by light, not always the kind that shines in obvious ways. Sometimes the light is quiet, hidden, gentle. It shows up in unexpected kindness, in the sound of laughter, in the stillness of morning, in the feeling that somehow I am supported, even when I can't explain how. That light is within me too. It lives in my breath, in my hope, in my will to keep going, even when the road feels endless, even when the night feels long. Even then, the light never leaves. So I walk forward with that light beside me, within me, around me. It's not always bright, but it's always there, and that is enough. Let me be guided not by urgency, not by fear, not by the voices around me, but by something deeper, something still, something steady. In a world full of noise, where opinions shout and choices pull in every direction, I ask for clarity. Clarity that comes not from certainty, but from connection. Connection to what feels right, what feels whole, what feels true. Let my mind be clear enough to see past the surface, past the glitter of what tempts me, past the panic of what scares me, past the pressure of what others expect from me. I don't want to choose from habit. I don't want to choose from fear. I want to choose from alignment, from quiet confidence, from peace. So I pause before I move. I listen before I speak. I feel before I decide. Because the right path may not always be the easiest. It may not be the loudest. It may not even be the one everyone else understands. But it will feel like truth in my bones. It will feel like breath in my chest. It will feel like the gentle unfolding of something honest. I let go of the need to rush. There is no finish line I need to reach before I am enough. Life is not a race, is a rhythm, a dance, a tide that moves in and out. Some answers come slowly, like dawn creeping over a quiet field. Some choices take time, like fruit ripening under the sun. I trust that I will know when it's time to know. And until then, I wait in stillness, not in fear, but in trust. I ask questions not to torment myself with doubt, but to remain open to wonder, to explore, to grow. The unknown is not always danger. Sometimes it is invitation. Invitation to step into something I don't yet understand, but will one day call home. Let my steps today be small, but intentional. Let them be guided by peace, not panic. I want to walk in a way that honors where I've been and welcomes where I'm going. Even when I cannot see the whole road, let me trust the next step beneath my feet. Let me believe that each moment of stillness, each decision made with care, is shaping a life that reflects who I really am. If I'm standing at a crossroads, may I not rush toward what looks easiest. May I not run from what feels uncomfortable. May I ask, instead, what path grows me? What path heals me? What path teaches me something I need to learn even if it's hard? Growth rarely happens in ease alone. It happens in honesty, in challenge, in choosing the road that deepens my character, not just my comfort. I want to walk toward wholeness, not just success, toward meaning, not just validation. I want to live in alignment with the quiet wisdom that whispers from within, not the chaos that shouts from outside. And when I don't know what to do, let me not be afraid of the waiting. Let me not mistake stillness for failure. Sometimes the answers are already rising inside me, like tides I can't yet see. Sometimes what I call confusion is just the space before clarity arrives. So I breathe here. I listen here. I remain open here. I trust that even in the fog, I am not lost. Even when I feel uncertain, I am still guided. Even when the road seems hidden, the next step will always appear one breath, one choice, one moment at a time. And no matter where this day leads, I walk with a quiet knowing that my inner compass, when honored, will never fail me. That I am capable of choosing what is right, not just what is easy. That I am learning, growing, evolving into a person who can trust themselves. Let me pause today, not because everything is complete, but because everything that matters is already here. The breath in my lungs, the warmth of morning, the heartbeat that continues without demand. These are not small things. These are everything. In a world that rushes, that hurries, that shouts more, let me be the one who whispers, now. Let me not miss the sacred that hides in the ordinary, the light in the leaves, the kindness in a stranger's smile, the silence between the noise. These are gifts we are given without cost, but not without value. Let me not chase so far ahead that I lose sight of this moment. There is beauty here unfolding, unassuming, unannounced, a softness in the air, a slowness I can return to. If I always live for the next thing, I miss what is already blooming in front of me. And perhaps that's the truest tragedy, to live a life full of blessings, but never notice them. Gratitude begins not when everything is perfect, but when we choose to see clearly. I choose to notice the warmth of my cup in the morning, the breath that steadies me, the way the light falls across the floor like gold. I name them not because they are grand, but because they are true, and truth is always worth noticing. I do not wait for joy to arrive tomorrow. I meet it today, in the little laugh, in the quiet hug, in the chance to start again. I give thanks not because life is easy, but because life is still offering itself to me. Another sunrise, another chance, another try. This is abundance not in what I own, but in what I can feel, and I will feel fully, even if it means facing the ache, even if it means holding the weight. I will not run from life, I will open my hands to it. The good, the heavy, the sacred, the uncertain. All of it is life. All of it deserves my presence. Gratitude is not denial. It is not pretending the hard parts don't exist. It is acknowledging them and still choosing to see light. Still choosing to say, there is something beautiful here, too. Even in the shadows, even in the stretch of sorrow. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, it balances it. It reminds me that even in darkness, there are stars. So today, I am thankful for the small things, the ones so easy to overlook. The stable roof, the soft blanket, the quiet friend, the fact that I am here, breathing, trying, becoming, that is enough. I release the rush. I release the pressure. I return to now, this breath, this heartbeat, this step, and I walk forward not chasing, but noticing, not grabbing, but receiving. Because when I slow down enough, I see what I have right now is already filled with light. Let me carry peace not only in the quiet of my own heart, but into the space I share with others. Let the calm I seek not end within me, but extend beyond me, into my conversations, into my reactions, into the way I walk beside people, even when we do not walk in agreement. I want to become someone who does not simply speak of peace, but embodies it. I cannot control the words others say. I cannot shape every interaction, but I can choose how I respond. I can choose whether to escalate or soften, whether to blame or listen, whether to judge or understand. That is where my power lives, in my response. And today, I choose to respond with grace. There will be people who misunderstand me, people who see me through the lens of their own pain, people who carry sharpness in their voice or distance in their eyes. And yet may I not mirror the weight they carry. May I offer them what I wish someone would offer me in my hardest moments: gentleness. I do not have to be perfect to offer peace. I only need to be willing to pause before I react, willing to look beyond what someone says and wonder why they might say it, willing to recognize that pain wears many masks: silence, pride, cruelty, but at the core of it all is often a wound left unattended. Let me not become hard in the places I've been hurt. Let me not become cold in the places I've been rejected. Let me stay soft, not weak, but soft enough to forgive, even when forgiveness feels impossible. Soft enough to hope, even when someone gives me no reason to. Soft enough to remember their behavior may not reflect who they are, but who they're struggling to be. I do not excuse harm. I do not pretend it never happened, but I release myself from the need to hold on to bitterness, not for them, for me. Because bitterness doesn't protect me. It poisons me. It doesn't build walls, it builds prisons. And I want to live free from the heavy chains of resentment, free from the quiet erosion of anger, free to feel the wind in my chest without the weight of what they did to me. So I begin with one thought: may they be well, even if we never speak again, even if they never apologize, even if they don't think of me at all. I send that wish out into the world like a light, carried on the wind. May they find peace, may they grow, may they heal, and not just them, but all who walk this earth with burdens I cannot see. The stranger who is kind to no one because no one has been kind to them, the friend who pulls away because they don't know how to ask for help, the child who lashes out because the world has not been safe, the elder who is bitter because they were forgotten, the parent who yells because they were never taught how to love gently. I cannot fix the world, but I can choose to be a quiet light in it, a light that doesn't demand attention, but gently makes the dark a little less dark, a light that stands not in perfection, but in presence. And if I cannot do great things, I can still offer small moments of peace: a kind word, a soft tone, a patient pause. Let me remember that every person I meet is carrying something I may never understand, and let that remembering soften me. Let it shape how I look at them. Let it remind me they too are human. They too are trying. They too are more than their mistakes. I may never know the impact of my gentleness. I may never see the ripple of my peace, but I plant it anyway, like seeds in soil I may never walk again. Because I believe peace is never wasted. I believe compassion echoes, even if I don't hear the return. And so I move through today not only with peace in my heart, but peace in my hands, peace in my eyes, peace in the way I walk and speak and pause and forgive. I walk through this world not to win, not to conquer, but to bring softness. In a world full of noise, I choose to be quiet light. Today, I affirm what I know deep inside. I am enough. I am not behind. I am not lost. I am not broken beyond repair. I am here, and that is enough. I carry within me a quiet power, a still, steady force that cannot be shaken by every storm. I may not control all things, but I can control how I meet this moment. With openness, with courage, with gentleness, with truth. I am allowed to grow slowly. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to not have all the answers. I am allowed to simply begin imperfect, uncertain, and still full of possibility. I do not need to prove my worth. I was already born worthy. My existence is not an audition. It is not a test. It is a gift. Today may bring joy, or it may bring challenge. It may offer ease, or it may demand patience. Whatever comes, I will meet it with presence. I will breathe through it. I will not run from it, because I am no longer afraid of the unknown. The unknown is not a threat, it is a blank page. and I get to choose how I write today's story. If I stumble, I will rise again. If I speak in anger, I will return to kindness. If I feel afraid, I will walk slowly, but I will still walk. I do not need to be fearless to move forward, only need to be willing. And I am willing. I remind myself that growth is not always visible. That strength sometimes looks like staying soft. That healing is not linear. Some days I move forward. Some days I rest. Some days I fall. But even falling is not failure, is proof that I am still reaching. So I speak life over myself. I speak patience. I speak gentleness. I speak hope. I remind myself that even in my doubts, I am still growing. Even in my silence, I am still heard. Even in my fear, I am still carried by something deeper. Today is not just another day. It is a new beginning, a fresh breath, a canvas untouched. I release what no longer serves me, the fear, the shame, the pressure, the guilt. I return to my center, where peace lives. I ground myself in what is true. I am not too late. I am not too much. I am not beyond hope. I am enough. Let me move through this day with gentle purpose. Let me create more light than I consume. Let me listen more than I speak. Let me love more than I fear. Let me build, not break. Let me soften, not harden. Let me be fully here, awake to what is, open to what could be. And as this day unfolds, hour by hour, breath by breath, I walk in alignment with quiet strength. I do not shout my worth, I live it. I do not force peace, I embody it. I do not chase love, I become it. So whatever this day brings, I carry this truth. I am ready, not because I have everything figured out, but because I am willing to walk forward anyway, with open eyes, with open hands, with an open heart. I begin.